There we go, my favourite waste of time, Owen Paul from the mid-80s. Okay, now we're going to talk cycling this morning, and I'm joined by two special guests, Pete Welsh and Danny Frost. Morning, Danny.
Morning.
Morning, Pete.
Morning, Kevin.
How are we doing? It's a bit wet for cycling today.
It's never too wet for cycling.
Oh, right. Okay, so Danny, come in first. Now we're talking today about the Folkestone Velo Club. So, Danny, I've got you down here as the cycling events organiser. Is that right?
Yeah, that's my role.
So that's good. So
we have a number of events throughout the year.
So, well, we come to the events later, but I'm sure you've got loads to talk to us about. But because we got trips to Spain, trips to France. So let's talk first of all about the club in general. I mean, how long's it been going? Who started it up, and what was the idea of you starting a velo club?
Yeah, well, unfortunately this morning we don't have the founders with us because they're all over in France, apparently listening to us there, so that's really good.
So let's say good morning to them first. Who's out there?
Oh, well, we've got Dan, Ben, Matt and Paul, who are all over in France having fun with their wives.
Oh, bonjour. You can't have fun on your bike. Come on.
And the club started, so I believe, from an original group of guys, some still ride with us, some don't, who got together to do a charity ride for the Pilgrims Hospice. Every year the Pilgrims Hospice do a charity bike ride. This year it's on the 1st of May, and they got together to do that, and because they were all from Folkestone, they decided to get a kit made and run themselves just as a little team of about 5 or 6 guys. And little by little word got around, their friends started cycling, or other people saw them around in a very distinctive black and pink kit, and people started joining them, and it grew from there, really, sort of in a quite friendly way.
I see. So it really just all started, they were doing another ride and thought, well, let's start our own club up. Was that how it?
That's basically it, yeah.
Oh, great idea, yeah. So, and how many members have you got now about?
Now we've got a little over 50 fully paid up members and quite a few people who ride with us now, but we've got a real sort of good core of about 50 riders.
Okay, excellent. Well, we'll come back to the nitty-gritty about the riding and in a minute, but we want to bring Danny in. Now, Danny, cycling events organiser, is that a big job? I mean, is there lots of events? Is this events that you organise for members of your club?
Yeah, we try and have a number of events throughout the year, for club members to participate in. The main event for the year is the Spain trip, which we just come back from.
Yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll talk about that later, because I've got some great questions about getting bikes to Spain. But so that was your job, was it, to organise that?
No, it was one of the chaps again who's over in France at the moment did most of the organising for that one.
Okay.
But we've got coming up, we've got a trip to France, which is around 80 miles, riding around northern France, which is coming up at the next bank holiday weekend.
Right.
On the Saturday.
And you get a good turnout for these trips?
Yeah, we've been doing it. It'll be the 3rd year we've done it. Previous years we've had about up to 30 people over there. 30?
Oh, that's good, yeah. Again, I suppose makes me think, getting bikes on ferries sounds quite interesting and quite easy, but getting 30 odd bikes on a plane, I don't know, just scanning them and everything, but we'll come to the logistics of that later. Now the big thing about just briefly about touching on your Spanish trip, I mean, what was the weather like in Spain?
It was a lot better than here. It ranged from about 18 degrees, was probably the coldest it was one day, but it got up to 26 on the last day we were there, so it was very good. 26. And I suppose, what about the range of elevation? Did you go up in the mountains? Yeah, we have a kind of a day that we call the best ride of the week kind of thing, which is going up a mountain called Sierra de Espuna, which is about 17-kilometre climb.
Sierra Espuna.
Yeah.
Was it shaped like a spoon? It's like a bit of a dip in the middle and don't fall off the edge.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah,
it
right.
It does smooth out after about 10 kilometres, so you're not wrong there.
I'd prefer a nice long handle coming down, I think. So that's basically a little bit, listeners, about the Folkestone Velo Club. We've got a lot more to catch up with because we've only really got the tip of the iceberg. But we're going to play a bit of music and then we're going to get on with the rest of the sports. So coming up now, this is Foundations by Kate Nash.
105.9 Academy FM.
Saturday Sport. You're listening to the Sports Ferret on Academy FM.
Now let's bring Pete back in. Now, Pete, the big difference, actually, looking out at the weather today, I mean, cycling abroad, it must be fantastic. So if you're a member of a Spanish cycling club, you don't have to worry too much about the rain. Is that right? Or...
Well, yeah, you'd think so, yeah. I mean, where we go to in Spain, this been our third year, is a place called Masaron in Murcia, southeast Spain. We've got a really good relationship with the local cycling club. And they've looked after us every year we've been there.
And what are they called?
They're called Club Ciclista 9 y Media.
Oh yes, I've heard of them. Yes.
Yeah. Well-known cycling club in the Masaron area.
Right. I mean, cycling in France and Spain, I think is just generally you get the impression that it is massive compared to in England. Although cycling's growing in England, but
yeah, I mean, there's obviously cycling seen a great renaissance probably since Bradley Wiggins won the Tour de France. But when you go to France and Spain, you notice huge differences, particularly in the way that motorists treat you on the road. You get a lot of respect from car drivers. They wave at you, even when there's 30 more of us wearing black and pink cycling in Spain and we're going through villages. You get the kids and the old dears waving at you as you go through and clapping you. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, good. So how many of you went out to Spain?
Well, this year there was 27 of us in total, plus Chris, who came out as a mechanic and support driver.
Right. So now, who's the best person to speak to about this? Is this Danny? I mean, did you all, Danny, come in on this one? Did you all travel on the same plane?
Yeah, we did.
And so how'd you get 27 bikes on one plane? I mean, first of all, logistically, right, you've got to go up in your people carrier or it's on the roof. So, I mean, have you got to take it apart?
Yeah, you have to get like a bike box or a bike bag to put your bike in.
Okay.
And there's various ones around, and of various costs. And then you take your bike apart, hopefully more than the night before to give you a bit of time. Pack it all up, and then as long as the baggage handlers are being nice.
Are they X-rayed? Do they have to go through an X-ray?
Yeah, they do. Go through the excess kind of luggage.
And these bike boxes, what are they like? Like the profile of a folded up bike in two bits, like a big eggshell or like a big shell that comes together with a clip on it?
Just like a large sort of hard plastic suitcase, really.
I see. Right.
The boxes.
All right. So you put your bike in there. Okay. And I mean, do you have to pay excess baggage for that?
Yeah, you do. You pay a fee for like sports equipment.
Oh, I see. Right. And in your case, as a team, I mean, do you get any discount, or has each individual got to pay? I suppose you don't get any discount because it's the weight at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no discount from the major airlines.
No concessions.
But by booking up the flights early, you can get a cheap flight. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, flights, when you think about it, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We just take suitcases. But I mean, there must be lots of sporting and golfing equipment that goes through in the course of a day. That do you take this through the normal channel? I mean, or is there like, sports bikes this way, gate 7 or whatever?
No, there's a separate place we put them on normally. You don't put them on the normal conveyor.
Right, okay, because you never see them going around that wheelie thing that goes around in circles. I did see, where was we? I think we were in Madeira, and there was one chap, they were wrapping his bike up in cling film.
I wouldn't fancy that.
You ever seen that? I don't know if they were going to cook it or just what they were going to do with it. But yeah, so right, the logistics of getting the bikes over there. So right, you turn up at the other end at the airport, and there's no people carriers. I mean, you've got to get to your hotel. Do you cycle, or is there a big coach that meets you?
Yeah, we arrange for both a coach. We arrange for both a coach and a trailer to take the bikes up to Gatwick, where we normally go from, and there's also a similar arrangement on the other side that then takes us to the hotel.
Okay, right. So how far from the airport to the hotel? Was it much of a journey?
It's from Alicante, it's about an hour and a half.
Oh, so it's not too bad. Yeah. Oh, right. And now, Pete, bikes in general, I mean, how much would these bikes cost, just roughly, an average road, well, say an average road bike? I mean, what would you think was a good price to pay for a bike that you might want to take and compete on?
Okay. Do you want me to tell you the price that I've told my wife, or how much it actually costs?
Perhaps. I hope Genevieve isn't listening in case she's going to fall over.
I'm sure she is listening.
Yeah. But I mean, when you buy a bike, do you just buy the frame and then you buy all the other bits that go with it, or and put it at home yourself, or what do you do?
It depends how serious you are, really. I mean, certainly we've got most people who start out cycling, you can get a really good quality aluminium bike now, brand new, from about anywhere between £500 and £700.
Right, but for that £500 or £700,
that's complete.
Oh, that's complete. That's everything. So you could, it arrives, you could go out on it the next day if it's all assembled.
Yeah,
correctly.
usually the thing that surprises people when they get into road cycling is that it wouldn't have any pedals, though.
Right. Okay.
So because we all use automatic clip-in pedals and shoes with cleats on, so you tend to buy those separately. But you can get into the sport like that, and it's all about the legs, really. I mean, there are people who cycle with us on bikes that are what you might call beginner bikes, but if they've got the legs, then they keep up. Yeah. And then you can pay, the sky's the limit, really. Right,
so you're only as good as your legs. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think that's the truth, yeah.
Right, okay, so we're going to play a bit of music then, and we're going to come back to talk sport. We've got some hockey, possibly a bit of rugby. I don't know what. We're just going to get on with it and see what comes up next, because this is how we roll on a Saturday morning. This is Kevin Daly, the Sports Ferret on 105.9, bringing you loads of sporty news around the Folkestone area.
Is she really going out with him? Well, there she is. Let's ask her.
And just who the group are and just a little bit about the background.
Yeah, well, as we were saying, the club was based and founded on friendship and that, and it's the social element around the club that's really good as well. So we all train hard and cycle hard, but we play hard as well. And there's quite a few of the guys in the club who are big fans of a band called the Cortinas, who have got a real buzz about them, great live band. And notably, the four committee members who are listening to us from Paris, I keep getting messages from them.
Do you?
No, they're in Paris listening to us, Kevin.
Right.
They're really enjoying your show.
Let's name drop them again. Who's this for?
Well, we've got Dan Smith, Ben Bartlett, Paul Dinsdale and Matt Jones, and they're all in Paris. And this is That Kiss by the Cortinas for you guys.
Well, there we go. That's the Cortinas there. Caught me out a bit because I have never heard that song before. And I must admit, there was a bit in the middle. It went quiet and I thought, oh, what have we done? We dropped a clanger here. But Pete was guiding me through that one. So there you go, fellas. Pete, you have to find out what the weather's doing in France before we go with your colleagues. Have a chat with them and ask them what the weather's doing. If they're listening, fellas, what's it like? Because it's a bit grizzly over here. And I hope it's a bit brighter wherever you are in France. Okay, now, Danny, we're going to come back to you. You're the cycling events organiser. Now that sounds like 3 words, but a lot of work. So just tell me what's coming up. What you organising? What's on your agenda?
All right. Moving on towards the summer, we're trying to have a big participation in the London 100. We had about probably about 12 of us last year in it, and we're trying to have more members participating in that from the club.
Is that the 100 where they shut the roads?
That is the one, yes.
Yeah, we had some people in once before and their times were so good because for that very reason, to cycle 100 miles when there's traffic and other obstacles, but to cycle 100 miles around London in traffic free must be awesome, yeah. Sorry, I digressed there. Carry on, Dan.
Yeah, and we've also trying to have quite a few of us in the another closed road event on the Tour of Cambridge as well, which is a similar event.
100 miles, or is that?
I think it's about 80 miles,
right.
But it's you can do a time trial before, so it's like a mini event where you do a time trial the day before, and then you do the Sportive on the Sunday. So right. there's a few of us doing that.
Okay.
And then moving in towards the autumn, we participate in a number of reliability rides, which range from about 50 to 60 miles as well. Right. We've had good participation in those over the years.
Okay.
But the thing is, we got the members participate in a number of different events. So we're catering from people who are doing sportives, road racing, we have a number of members who are Cat 2, Cat 3, so they're
explain to a non-cyclist here, what's a Cat 2 and a Cat 3? Is this where you kind of move away from the club and you go, fierce competition?
Yeah, it's about, but it's about moving up from different standards of race. So as a beginner, you'd be a Cat 4.
I see.
Then when you obtain a certain amount of points, and as you get more and more points, you then become a Cat 3 rider, then a Cat 2, then Cat 1, then Elite, and it moves on. But we've got a number of members who are participating to quite a high standard.
Right.
We've also got people doing circuit racing, again, which is a similar...
Circuit racing, was it just round like a velodrome of some sort?
Not so much a well, it could be, but it's not so much a velodrome, it's more around purpose-built cycling circuits.
I see, yeah.
Like at Falmead.
Yes, I've been over there, yeah.
And then we've also got members who participate in Ironman.
Right, yes.
One being
we've got
Pete.
one sitting here, yes. Yeah. Pete, we could have a whole show about you, Pete, but I understand that some of your colleagues in France can't understand why you're so quiet, but I won't let him talk, Naves. I live across the road from here all the time. But no, we're going to have a chat with Pete shortly, but we'll just get these events sorted out, because I want to let the listeners out there know that it's not all about cycling. I understand you've got some family fun stuff coming up. So Pete, it's your baby, is it?
Well, yeah. We've as a committee, we're organising things, but on the we're trying to make the social side of the club better. I think because we spend quite a lot of time on our bikes, we do tend to neglect our families a little bit on occasion. In winter, it's sort of easy because it's horrible weather, so I don't think anyone minds. But as the days get nicer, we're supposed to be out, doing the garden and a bit of DIY.
Okay.
So we do like to get the family involved, and we are trying to bring a lot of younger riders into the club as well. So on the 29th of May, which is the bank holiday weekend,
right.
Paul up at the Master Brewer in Broadmead Village is helping us out by hosting a family fun day where we're having a barbecue and bouncy castle and stuff like that, really, so we can all the members can come along with their partners and kids, and we can just get to spend some time socialising together as well, instead of just head down and dying on the bike.
Right. Oh, that sounds good. I bet the wives and the kids will love that. But also, you've got some links with the charity, I understand.
I mean, as I said before, Kevin, the whole thing started really because of supporting Pilgrim's Hospice, and we have done lots of things supporting Pilgrim's Hospice over the years, but in particular, we've been very supportive of Headway, the head injury charity, who do a lot, particularly in southeast Kent. So, for example, we've participated in quiz nights, and then last year, Headway held a really nice gala dinner up at the Channel Suite at the Leescliffe Hall, and we bought a couple of tables as a club and went around and got the old Dickie bows on, black tie, and went along.
No
to that.
lycra.
But no. Well, we wore lycra under our suits probably, but
Yeah, it was like Superman. You got changed in a phone box, and then you cycled off home, did you?
It's funny you should mention Superman, especially with Danny in the room. But I'll leave that between him and Paul, his roommate.
I don't know if we should say anything on air about that, Danny, but we'll talk about it off air first, just in case. But Headway, the charity Headway. I mean, that's obviously been a cyclist, and there have been a few sad incidents over the years of cyclists getting, off their bike. First of all, obviously the helmet, it's a must, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we as a club absolutely insist on all riders wearing a helmet, and obviously an approved helmet. So if you come along to ride with us and you've not got a helmet, well, unfortunately, we'll politely ask you to go away.
Yeah.
But
the charity Headway, I mean, just if tell us a little bit about them. What do you know about them?
Headway, really, their main purpose is to support people who've suffered brain injuries through various reasons, really. The obvious ones in relation to us is either through accidents, but there's all sorts of ways in do that, and they support victims of brain injuries and help them through their lives and help them become more independent. But also, really importantly, they do lots of things to support their families and carers as well.
Oh, good, right. So, no, it's a great charity. It's just nice that you've got, a charity that you focus on, and it is actually related to your sport, because, as we say, no helmet, no cycling. Okay, Peter, thanks for that. I've got to play a bit of music, and then I'm just going to whip through a few more sports, and then we're going to do a bit of a link about how to get in touch with you guys, and we might even speak about Superman over there in the corner.
The Saturday Sports Show, brought to you by the Natural Health Centre in Folkestone. When it comes to your health, make the right choice.
105.9 Academy FM.
105.9 Academy FM.
Saturday Sport. You're listening to the Sports Ferret on Academy FM.
Academy FM.
So, anyone out there listening that you want to say hello to?
Yeah, I say hello to my wife Claire, who's listening, and also to my father, who's a keen cyclist.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you get it from then? Is it?
Yeah, probably. He's Graham Frost, or known as Horse. To his friends.
Horse Frost.
Yeah.
And there must be a story to that, but I don't think we got time to go into that. Anyway, Horse, good morning to you. And anyone else?
I just say hello to my sister, who's probably listening in Hawkinge, and again, she's got another. She's known as the goat. So.
Oh, they are. Oh dear. Well, I think we better stop there, Dan, because we don't want to go through the whole family, the whole zoo. But right, Pete. Now it's your turn to wrap up. Tell us about the last little things, getting together, what the club's like, and where you meet, and listeners, if you've been listening and you fancy a go at joining the Folkestone Velo Club, we know how do they get in touch, Pete?
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I mean, we've really been making a huge effort, particularly over the last 12 months, to welcome riders of all abilities. So, you know, if you are new to the sport of road cycling, come along. We have 3 official group rides a week. One on Wednesday, that we nicknamed the Wednesday Warriors, which meets at 9 o'clock at Café Delizia in the Bouverie Place shopping centre.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're
Nice.
great guys there. Hello to Sammy and Delis, who always look after us.
Good.
They're fantastic. We always meet at Café Delizia. On Saturday, we meet at 8 o'clock, again at the cafe. We always meet there for half an hour and set off on the bikes, so 8:30 on a Saturday. On Saturdays from now on, we'll be running 2 groups because the weather's getting better, although not today. We got more people, so we'll have a faster group and more experienced riders. But people who are new will be running a second group as well, so that, you know, that they don't get dropped, that they're not intimidated, and also that they can learn about group riding, which is a skill in itself, from some of the more experienced riders. And on Sundays we meet a little bit later at 9 o'clock, again riding at 9:30 at the cafe. We've got quite a few lady riders coming along recently, which is absolutely fantastic to see, and they're showing the boys up on some occasions. Notably Zoe, who's also out in Paris.
Oh,
although
Zoe.
she's fortunately on crutches at the moment, so some of us have got a chance. And really, we've got these rides going. So if you're happy and want to come along, you can check us out on the website, which is Folkestone Velo Club, all one word, .co.uk. And we've got a very active Facebook group page, which is also Folkestone Velo Club, and I'm sure you'll give us a link to that from this show.
Go have a little look on the Folkestone Velo Club. There's a little clip there of the guys cycling in Spain, and it looks so good, you know. It looks really good fun. So we want to say hello to a little special person.
Yeah. Obviously, I want to say hello to my daughter Sophie, who's 11 today, and
11.
She was going to come along this morning to the show, but she's decided
She had a better offer, didn't she?
She's going to Dreamland with her friends.
Yeah, okay, dream on. Happy birthday, Sophie, and obviously we want to say hello to Gabby and Genevieve and anybody else that's listening in. Okay, fellas, we're going to play out now with a bit of Cosmic Girl. But I want to thank you both, Danny and Pete, for coming in. If you want to try out the Folkestone Velo Club, Facebook page is the easiest link, and that'll take you onto the website. Tune in next week. We've got the marathon people coming in, so thanks a lot, guys. And
thanks, Kevin. Yeah,
thanks a lot.
Yeah, hello to all the club.
Yeah, and good luck to all the guys out having a good time listening in France. See you all next week.